Welcome to Wealth Mavericks. On today's episode, we're talking about where to start when the spiritual side of your life feels lacking, lost, or maybe has never really existed at all.
If you will just begin seeking truth, you will find truth, and it will reveal itself to you regardless of the path that you take. When you cannot be attuned to that inner voice, then you're just kind of pushed around by all the external voices.
Welcome back to Wealth Mavericks. I'm Erin. I'm joined today by Joe. And today we're talking about the part of life that always comes first in the 5-10s. Joe, remind us, what are the 5 key areas of life that we include in the 5-10s?
So spiritual, family, business, financial, and fitness.
And we talk often here about 4 of them, but not as much about spiritual because it's deeply personal and different for everyone. But it comes first for good reason because it is our foundation. And for some, spirituality means faith or religion. For others, it's a sense of peace, purpose, connection to their inner voice, and to something larger than themselves. And we're very open around here that we are Christians and our faith is very important to us. It drives us. And we say often, we're building God's business here. But in our membership, we work with people of many different belief systems. And we respect that people define spirituality in different ways. So we just talked recently about improving your marriage, no matter what stage you're at. And so I want to talk about how can you improve your spiritual life, no matter where you are, and maybe specifically talk to people who may feel disconnected spiritually and don't even know where to start. So Joe, let's get right to it. This was sparked, I was telling you, from a member conversation that I had this week. And it was with a person who was not raised with anything by way of spirituality or religion. And she was sharing with me that as she's getting older, she's having more questions and more stirring inside of, what's it all for and what comes next? And she wants to explore it, but she doesn't even know where to start. So what advice would you give someone like her who has never had it or maybe lost their spirituality along the way?
Honestly, this is a tricky one to navigate in such a public forum without it being individual. You said it well. We work with people of a lot of different faith backgrounds. And honestly, some of this doesn't even have to do with faith or religion at all.
Mm-hmm.
It is the concept, I would say, generally speaking, that there is something inside of each of us, call it your conscience, that inner voice, whatever that might be. It's how connected to that are you? And now we express it differently. So when I'm focusing on 5-10s in my life with spiritual, it does have to do a lot with giving back. It does have a lot to do with being plugged into my faith community with our church. But that doesn't have to be everyone's. Like, everyone is different. I think a lot of this does have to do with, like, can you take a moment in stillness and sit at peace with that inner voice? And I have found that people who tend to invite most chaos in their world are spiritually disconnected. Spiritually disconnected. They might be super religious, but they can be spiritually disconnected. And I think that's an important distinction. So even people who I'd say are full-blown atheist or agnostic, they may not even have an assumption that there is something bigger than us. We're it, and when I die, I go into the ground. Okay, what is that connection to that thing inside of you? That voice. And so I think that's a great place to start. Now, my personal belief system says if you seek out truth, you will find it. And so I think it kind of starts there for someone who's either not been exposed to any of that in their childhood or as they've grown up and they're trying to explore it. Begin by seeking truth. Just that's the bottom line. Seek out the truth. I believe it's almost like a physical law. Truth wants to be found, and if you seek it out, you will find it. So do you even have the bandwidth to do that? Are you taking time in meditation or in meditation and prayer, in studying and reading scriptures, ancient scriptures that have wisdom in them? What does that look like for each person? And we're all exposed to different things as we navigate our life. But to ignore this area, I believe, is to invite chaos. And again, it's like when you cannot be attuned to that inner voice, then you're just kind of pushed around by all the external voices, loud external voices.
Right.
Lies tend to be really loud. Truth tends to be quiet. So
Yeah.
can we still our hearts? Can we still our minds? And can we focus on pursuing that? I think that's a great place for people to start. And as esoteric as that might sound, or like as ethereal as that might sound, maybe just begin that practice. Just like you might take 5 minutes in the morning or 5 minutes in the evening or 5 minutes during your day and intentionally disconnect from all the noise. Like put your phone down, all the freaking swiping and clicking, and like put it down. Put that down and take a few moments in stillness and in peace and ask yourself, like, what is truth? Is there anything beyond this? You often see that when people, or I have noticed as people age, especially as they start approaching their deathbed, people who maybe felt very staunchly in one direction feel very different in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just like, why wait until that time? You can have a very spiritually rich life that is grounded in peace and truth.
I think there's often resistance that comes up no matter who we are, but because of the world we live in, and just because of our human brain, we try to sit in silence. We try to slow down, and the resistance comes up like, I don't want to do this. And especially if you are disconnected spiritually or you've never explored it at all, the resistance can be overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when we're talking about the other areas too, like people not wanting to look at their finances or their troubled marriage, like I just don't want to look at it. So I'm going to ignore it. But obviously you ignore these things to your peril. But especially in this area, why do you think it's often the first thing to fall off, or it's so easy for people to ignore?
Because we live in a distracted age. I don't know if you saw that. I saw an article. I think it came out. It may have been yesterday. I think it may have been yesterday. There is a court ruling that a woman who started using social media at 6 years old became completely addicted to it, and she actually won a $3 million lawsuit against, I think it was Meta and
Mhm.
YouTube. I think it might have been, so Google. That's the first case of its kind. These devices, the computers that we're on, we are in a distracted age. So of course that's easy. Like in that quiet moment, guess what? Being quiet is hard. It's really hard. So we just default to the thing that brings those dopamine hits or whatever it might be, the doom scrolling, all of that. It's feeding some part of our brain in a very unhealthy way. And so I think if you make the choice, and by the way, I'm the first to raise my hand. I am guilty of this. Literally last night, uh, Mandy was like, Joe, I love you to death. She always prefaces thing. Okay, okay, I'm ready. And she's like, you are spending so much time on your phone.
Mm.
And it's like, just be present with the family. And so I'm not saying that I'm the example that we should all follow. It is very easy to allow the tools of this age to distract us from the things that are most important. One of them being spiritual connection, grounding, knowing where I'm going.
And again, all the 5 10s fit together. So that's something that comes up often with family is like just spending more time individually with each kid or with my wife or, as a family. And oftentimes it's like, well, I'm too busy. I'm too distracted. I need to put my phone down. Oftentimes if fitness is falling by the wayside, like you don't feel as good as you should. And when you don't feel as good as you should, you feel more disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like as soon as you just make a decision in one of these areas, it's going to positively snowball to the rest.
Right. Well, and look at like even like high performance athletes. What do they do before high performance activities? You quiet your mind, you rehearse, you go through all that. That's not happening while they're scrolling. That's not like it is intentionally like disconnecting, going deep into our, I don't know where our soul resides, but that spirit element, like between our brain and our hearts and whatever it is, it like truly extracting from this human experience of the moment and being intentional. I could only imagine some of our surgeons that are dealing with very, very sensitive thing, spinal surgeons, brain surgeons, heart surgeons. Like I imagine there are moments of chaos. What do you not do in those moments? Freak out in the chaos. You better find that connection to something much more still, much more
Mhm.
at peace. That's all this is, honestly. Now, if I can do a little bit of a caveat here, or maybe a little bit of a side trail, I don't think I'm smart enough to make up all the stuff that has to do with like specifically religion or spirituality. Like, in the Christian faith, there are people who for thousands of years have been living this out and trial and error with certain things because man has injected himself into a lot of religion. And so
Mhm.
things can get corrupted in that way, if you will. But there are spiritual practices that have been tried and true for millennia. So how about we learn something from those people and say, okay, how can I learn these practices? Everyone knows that I'm a skydiver because I'll tell you within 2 minutes of meeting you. But that's one of the things that's a staunch reminder to me. I don't just go out to the drop zone and make up cool stuff to do. Oh, I think I should do my pilot shoot this way. No, there's a reason why it's rote. You do X, Y, then Z, and you do it in that order every time because those rules were written in blood. People had to die to learn those things. So I'm not smart enough just to make stuff up. So find an alignment if you can with a faith community and say, what are the rules that you guys live by so that you can maximize this part of your life? So I would encourage anybody, go seek out that truth and understand many, many people for hundreds or thousands of years have gone before you and uncovered. Here is the pathway to peace, which I think is what most of us want. I mean,
Yeah.
when we have these conversations, Erin, in our Freedom Roadmap conversation, at the top of the values conversation almost always exists something around peace and fulfillment. Almost always. So if there are pathways that other people have learned and have spent decades, centuries, and a millennia to perfect, why would we not learn from them?
Right.
Right?
And so often we bring our own experiences, obviously, to how we're judging, and if you feel like you've been burned before or very turned off by a certain religion or a type of person,
Hmm.
or again, if you've never experienced it before, you can feel totally like an outsider. And from a personal perspective, I was, I think a lot of people are like this. They were raised with some sort of foundation. And then as they get older, go to college, whatever, you kind of pull away and the belief is still there, but like the practice is not. You get distracted by all the things happening in the world. And then there's that quiet voice that starts, for me, pulling me back. But I can put myself in the shoes of someone who feels on the outside, and this all seems very weird. Um, I will always remember it was over a decade ago now, but I was invited to go to an optional worship service that was part of this company retreat that I went to. And so I went, I'm like, okay. But like, I was not raised in a church that like you raised your hands or, worship like that. And I remember being there and feeling so out of place. And I remember using the term aliens. Like I felt like these people are aliens. I've been dropped off on another planet. What are they doing? Like raising their hands. And, and now in 10 years, just taking one step after another, my heart has opened and my experience has led me, to now I'm one of those aliens, and someone might look at me like that, but to not look at it as that could, and it doesn't have to be you, but to think, oh, I have so far to go, or I'm so overwhelmed by the options. It's like, just like in finances, just like in fitness,
Mm,
start where you are, take one logical step. And for me, I think in the fitness world, it was one person who I looked up to and just admired so much. And
mhm.
so if you have someone in your life where they seem very peaceful, they seem very happy, start getting curious. Like,
Right.
what do you believe? What do you do? Like, how can I start to emulate that? And you might try things that like do not resonate with you, but then try something else, just like in anything else in life, right?
Seek truth. If you seek truth, you will find truth.
And it's worth the pursuit. It's worth
Yeah.
effort. It's worth making mistakes or maybe going down the wrong path and then getting back to what will ultimately be the right path and
Yeah.
the right path for you. All
I
right.
just think, there was a speaker at a conference that I was at. It was a generosity conference. And these people, it was a husband and wife. They're in Texas. They're home builders. And they actually led all of their clients after they finished, completing the home. They're essentially delivering the home. They had the quintessential drawer in the kitchen that has all the manuals in it, right? It's
Mm.
got the dishwasher, it's got the refrigerator, it's got all the manuals for everything. And they included a Bible. it with every home, and it
Hmm.
was, embroidered or whatever, embossed or whatever with their name. And they said, in all the manuals that are important in life, this is the one that we have found to be most meaningful to us. This is like instructions for living a good life.
Hmm.
Now, when you're talking about wisdom that is in some cases, like in the Christian faith, there's Old Testament scripture, New Testament scripture. In different faith types, there are different I'll call them books of wisdom, books of ancient wisdom. Some of it you're going to go, man, I don't resonate with that at all. I don't understand this. I don't understand why this is there. You don't have to understand all of it
Hmm.
to be impacted by some of it. And so that's why I encourage people, like, if you will just begin seeking truth, you will find truth and it will reveal itself to you, regardless of the path that you take. Now, I was born and raised into a Christian family in San Jose, California. My guess is if I was born somewhere else in the world, I would be raised a different religion. So I think there is a healthy part of what you were talking about, Erin, like when you leave your home, you go to college or whatever it might be, that box that you were kind of handed as a kid gets shaken up. And it's like, okay, you are now as an adult going to decide, how do these pieces come back together for you? What do you take and throw out completely? What else do you put into that box? But I think that's an important element. I think some people just shook up the box and they just never even analyzed it again. And I don't think that serves people well. So again, I'm talking to the people who either were not raised with any kind of faith background and or who have completely stepped away from their faith. Understand there can be a deeper satisfaction and a more meaningful, peaceful existence in your life, I believe, if you will seek truth and find it that way.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing all that, Joe. If this is an area of your life that feels uncertain or underdeveloped, you are not alone. It's an endless journey that we are all on as humans, but what you don't want to do is stay stuck or stay in one place. And as with all of the other 510s, business, finance, fitness, again, you simply need to start where you are. Stay curious and take a step forward and then another step, just one step at a time. So, Doc, thank you as always for being here. If you enjoyed this episode, let us know, share it with your friends, hit subscribe, and we'll look forward to having you here again next time. Until then, go be a wealth maverick.